One of the first criticisms that came out, that people were talking about when the iPads first came out, was lack of storage space. And what I think you're finding these days is with the advent of cloud storage, there are plenty of options out there that will allow you to get the maximum potential from the iPad in terms of usability and functionality, as well as a little bit of safety measures, knowing that everything is, all of your stuff is safe somewhere out there on the web. One of the premier ones that works extremely well is something called Dropbox. And in this video, I'm going to show you basically how to get to Dropbox, either through the web or as an app. We're going to download the app, we're going to log in, and then I'll kind of talk a little bit about the comparison between the app versus maybe using the web-based. So I'm going to kick into the App Store. And again, I'm still logged in under my Student One account. It's going to take a few seconds here to fire up. Probably still looking for iBooks. Let me get rid of that. So I'm going to go up in the search menu. I'm going to type in Dropbox, all one word. Very popular application. I think it's probably, as I look through a bunch of these lists that say the top 10 apps that you need to download for your iPad, this is definitely on all of those lists. That's how popular this thing is. So I've got Dropbox there. I'm going to go ahead, and it's free. I'm going to install the app. And this will happen from time to time. It's always going to ask you what the password is for your account. If I can remember mine. Yep, so it looks like it's downloading, and I'll come back to you when it's all done. Okay, it looks like it's done. We're going to go ahead, and I'm actually going to move that first because I got room on my home screen. I'm going to lean on it. A little shimmy, a little shake, drag it over, and there's my home screen right there. Hit the home button, get out of edit mode, and we're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and fire that up, see what this looks like. Love the little cartoons. It's basically giving you a little bit of a little piece of a tutorial. So first time I've downloaded it, don't even have an account, so obviously I'm not going to put in my email and my password. I'm going to say new to Dropbox, create a free account. So I'm going to click on that link, and it's going to ask me for the information. So I'm going to throw in, now I'll put in my own information. But I'm going to use I'll use my dummy email account, and the password is not your email password. It's asking you to create a password. So let's see what we got here. I'll put in the same one I've been using all along. Let's see if that'll take that. Agree to the terms, and here's Dropbox. Automatically, this is something new for Dropbox. They'll always throw these little cartoons in and save your photos to Dropbox. I'll go through this a little bit later in terms of what Dropbox does for your pictures off of the iPad and iPhone as well, for that matter. So I'm going to get out of this. So they're basically forcing you to see what pictures you got on the iPad to upload. Let's cancel out of that. We'll cancel out of that. This is what Dropbox looks like. On the left side, you've got your folders. On the right side, there's a PDF here that says Getting Started. So I'll click on that. It'll download it. And so Dropbox is more than just a destination for you to keep your things. It's also a reader in some cases too. You can take something that's within Dropbox, like this PDF, and I can move it. I can open it up in iBooks or Kindle to be able to read and to annotate and those kinds of things. It's got its own favoriting system, and it's got linking systems and the whole deal. It does read most PDFs, but again, you lose that functionality of being able to annotate PDFs. So I would tell you probably want to pull a PDF in. You'd be using this open in button quite a bit, pulling it into iBooks or whatever PDF reader you've got on the iPad that will allow you to annotate. You can put your pictures in here if you'd like. Obviously, they've set up a photos album with the sample album as well. I don't know where they're getting these pictures, but they must be just samples from Dropbox. So you can use it very similar to email. You can go back through the menus just on the left side of the screen just by pushing through the buttons, and that'll get you back through your folder directory. The one thing I would caution you about Dropbox, it's the same as any hard drive. The only difference is it sits on the cloud as opposed to on the machine. So the way you organize your files and your folders is very, very important here, because Dropbox has a very important position in terms of sharing. I can create a folder and I can share that folder with other Dropbox users. So the way that, and we'll do this at some point, but I guess the point I'm making is that be very clear about your directory structure and how your folders are structured. You should have a personal folder. Generally, if you're using this for academics, you would have folders for every class. Might be the way you want to go. Okay, so it's an interesting process to go through. Here are the settings. Here's the settings panel. Turn on camera upload. What camera upload does is automatically, anytime you put a picture on your iPad, it'll automatically upload it to your Dropbox. You get 2 gigs free, and I can talk later about how to get more. Passcodes, you've got help. Tell friends about Dropbox. That's how you get more memory. When you invite somebody to use Dropbox and they download it and they get an account and so on and so forth, that's how you increase your memory. I think I'm up to about 10 gigs right now. So I push the upload section. There's really nothing being uploaded. There's a favorites piece. If you want to go ahead and do the favorites piece, you can look at that. No biggie there. So, okay, there's a good introduction to Dropbox. If I push edit, I can delete these if I want. So I'll just push on public. I can delete it or move it, or photos, or getting started. I could move the getting started PDF to another folder. So you get the idea there. Basic introduction to Dropbox. This is getting it installed on the iPad. Let's go ahead now. Let's look at the online version of it. Let me pull up a browser here. We'll get out of. So I'll go to Dropbox. We'll see what this looks like. It would help if I put in the correct. So this is the web portion of Dropbox. You can also download it. I don't want to download it to this machine because there is one already on there, but I do want to. I don't want to watch the video. All right, so I want to go up to the right side of the screen here, and I want to sign in. And I'm going to put in the same email I've been using before. I should know how to type this by now. So that is the same email we've used all along. Gonna get a dot in there, and then we'll log in. And we're gonna log in. So it basically explains 4 steps away from a 250 megabyte bonus. You know, you can go through these if you'd like, but I want to go straight to my Dropbox. So they're the same 3 items that I see on my iPad. And the difference between the iPad app originally and this being able to use the web-based idea is anytime you want to share, sharing with the iPad app is a little tough at this point. There's no way that you have that functionality. But let's say I just wanted to create a new folder. So I've got upload, and then I've got new folder right here. So let's say we're going to create to go along with that multimedia idea, let's say I'm going to create a folder for my multimedia class. So I created in here. I've got the multimedia piece, and now I can put stuff in here as well. You can upload anything you want. It takes images, it takes doc files, it takes any text piece whatsoever. You can save all your stuff here to Dropbox. Within this system, you can download it to your machine if you'd like. You can rename it, move it, copy it. These are pretty self-explanatory in terms of the tools that are up here. You also have, you've got your share button. You've also got sharing here as well. It's starting to throw in some events and some get started triggers and those kinds of things. Good place to stop. Let me minimize this. Let's get out of the web, and I just want to check one thing on the iPad. I fire that back up. So I go back to my Dropbox on the iPad, and you notice there's my multimedia folder right there, and obviously nothing in it. So again, that same similar idea with the Google Mail, with the syncing. That's what Dropbox, that's what cloud software does for you. It just allows you to set up folder structures on one machine, and it replicates to your iPad in a matter of seconds. We'll talk about some other functionalities of Dropbox, like sharing a folder and that photo upload that I was talking about before in future videos. Talk to you in a bit.